guys, this is Bronco Batty, and today we are back with part 2 of our Mountains2Metal install. Today we are going to start with the cargo Molle.
Alright, so we got everything out of the boxes now, and these are 2 kits. We got one for the passenger side and one for the driver's side, along with 3 brackets for each side, a bag of hardware, instructions sticker instructions for both sides. So we're going to go ahead and scan that QR code that they send in each box that shows each instruction. We're going to scan that and see what's needed to get done to install this correctly. Alright, so we scanned the QR code. You can see their awesome website. Look how detailed every piece of instruction is, highlighted importance, great step-by-step photos. It goes down to every step that you need to do in great detail and length. These guys did not leave anything out. We're very thankful for that. And now we're just gotta go ahead and get all, this is all the tools, so everything you're gonna need. We're gonna go ahead and gather all that, come back and start installing. Alright guys, for step 1, it says we gotta remove this panel right here, which you just have to pry with your fingers carefully. It's all just pop tabs, so very easy. Just get your fingers hooked in. If you need a panel tool, you can get that too. Next up, if you haven't ordered this yet, this mounting bracket, you need to go on the website and order it because you will need this. And let's get it mounted right here. Oh, sorry, right there. And for hard tops, it utilizes these 2 holes. For soft tops, it utilizes these outside holes. You can see right here is where the hard top holes will be. And then it comes with the hardware to mount in right here. So all of the hardware just screws in, and you're just going to put it right in there. Right. So I mistakenly grabbed these bolts starting out. They do fit, but they don't thread all the way, so these are not the right ones. They actually came with these bolts in the hardware with this. I just didn't see it in the box. So luckily I found them. I didn't cross thread anything, and I tightened it the proper way. I made this flush with the top of the rail so that the plastic trim will still fit perfectly, just like shown. There you go. So you got your trim still in, you got your mounting plate, it still fits, and then after that you got to lift up your matting, and there's some mounting holes underneath, and then one right here that this bracket will go into somewhere. I'll just look at it, but yeah, I think it goes like that. Alright, so now we got this bracket installed with the lip coming out, and up here it calls for the 11/16 spacer to go on the passenger side and the 15/16 to go on the driver's side. But if you have a soft top, it requires the 1/2-inch spacer. Now that's an easy way to figure out if you got a tape measure, or if you just know your fractions, you can easily tell which one's bigger and smaller. So next, it has us take this piece off of our tie down, which is easy. Just pull up on it. You go in with the 10 mil. And that's why you should invest in one of these. And you take your tie down out, because you know, as a Bronco owner, you don't really use it. Just don't beat me up. Then next, I'm assuming it's one of these that it wants to use. I'm pretty sure. Let me look. Alright, so it does not go on top. It actually says to lift up the carpet. So you're going to lift up the carpet, slide it right like that, and then the bolt holes will still line up. You put your tie down back in, and you'll have your piece right there. Do not tighten it all the way so it makes it easier to do the back piece. But that is what you're going to do. You just run it in by your fingers. That's fine for now. Make sure it stays in alignment. And also, so when you put your rack in, you can still adjust it a little bit. So don't ever final tighten until everything's installed. Then you can run your final ties down. So that easy like that. So it's a whopping 100 degrees, and you can imagine we're sweating our butts off, but we got this third or the second bracket mounted to that first one I showed y'all. It's just finger tight. You can see it still moves, and the reason that is because you need to mount these two holes up. You can see the Mountains2Metal logo, and then right where we placed that original mounts underneath the carpet, they go right to those slots. So you want to make sure that the mounts are the ones furthest in, not furthest out, so you'll know if you have them backwards real quick. This one right here mounts to that hole, the very top hole. Everything's still loose. You can see it still moves. Now we finished tightening it down, so I'm going to start down at the bottom and work my way up. Or maybe I'll start at the top and work down. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to start up here. Alright, so for these top bigger bolts, I had to use a 3/16 Allen socket. You can use an Allen key. Sockets are easier in my opinion. And then for all the other smaller ones, you need a 5/32. That's for these little black ones and this chrome silver one over here. And then for these bolts, you need a 10 mil. Like you see, these are still loose. I wanted to do these last. The rest of it's solid. So now I'm gonna finish tightening up this. And lastly, you put your caps back on. You can see where they clip in. So this part hooks, so you go down under first and then pop. Same back here. Down under and pop. And there it is. Just like that, you're good. And you can put your rubber mat back down and cover it all up, and you got a solid mount. All right. So I ended up having to cut notches into my rubber mat. A super easy thing to do on these rubber mats. This is an aftermarket mat, but all I used was this dollar knife from Harbor Freight, and it cuts like butter through rubber. But yeah, that's all I had to do is just put little notches for these little angle pieces. You see how they kind of go up? The regular mat is fine, but the one that's, you see the raise in it, how raised it is. All right, you can see how the mat sits flush now. You can't even tell that I cut anywhere unless you really look behind, but it looks pretty factory. I pride myself on making clean cuts and measuring twice and only cutting once. But that's with the passenger side on, and that's with the driver's side on. You just mirror the instructions you got on this side to this side. Everything's the exact same except for this spacer. This is the longest spacer in the kit, and this is the second longest spacer in the kit, and that's for hard top users only. If you have a soft top, you're gonna have a clip right here for the soft top lock. You're gonna take that off and put the spacer in it. But I don't have a soft top, so I can't show y'all. I'm lucky for you to get a hard top. I'm not sure how well you can see with the lighting. Hopefully it clears up, but I think it came out pretty good. I also wanted to mark on this. They made the cut back here where the back of the seat is perfectly flush. So this seat's reclined fully back, you can see, compared to this one. So reclined fully back, it still doesn't touch. You still have about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gap. I know it looks smaller on camera, but it is bigger than it looks. And then come over here and you got a giant gap because this seat's not reclined back yet. But if you recline, you still have full use of reclinability, full range of motion. The seats still fold all the way down and come all the way back up. And this one has a cubby hole that I don't need on this side. I could have got the one without the cubby hole. I wasn't sure if that was for this top slot, which I could still get my hand in there perfectly fine. You see, no problem, no cuts. I went in pretty fast. So you still get full use of that storage bin, which is where I keep my flashlight. Still get full use of this storage bin. Still have access to your 12 volt, your lighting, whatever goes right there. And everything's still in place. So I hope y'all enjoyed. And thank y'all again for coming and checking out our video. It means a lot to us.